Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have Jeroen with us. I'm really excited to share with you more about his business and who this person is. So with that said, Jeroen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm super glad to have you. Let's kick it off with a one word open. If you could just use one word to describe how you're feeling in this moment, what would that be?
Uh, Rejuvenated.
Awesome.
Just came back
Let's
from vacation, so
Very nice, very nice. If we could take 3 to 5 minutes, if you could share with the audience about your background, how you know who you are, and all that good stuff, and then talk to us about your business from inception, aha moment, to where you are today, and your plans for the future, that would be great.
yeah. So I'm a co-founder and CEO of a CRM company called Salesflare. Salesflare. Well, you could ask like, why another CRM company? Are there like already 650 out there? We actually tried a ton of them. That's 7 years ago when we had our own software business. I had experience also deploying Salesforce at customers, using it internally at the company where I used to work, and never found that it really worked. Like for Salesforce, it's not really built for salespeople or end users. The focus is more on the organization, it's on management, it's on making sure that the whole organization works. It's not necessarily to be nice for an end user to work or even to be a practical thing that helps them to follow their sales or so. Um, Now, 7 years ago, we had our own software company. Like I said, we had a lot of leads and we needed something that worked, because if the CRM didn't work for us, then basically our whole follow-up process would fail, and we wouldn't have all the beautiful sales and good relationships and all that. And we tried a lot of different things in Salesforce, some things that were way better for sales, but we found that everything we tried in the end failed because we didn't manage to keep up with the data input. We felt that every single software program we tried came with this expectation, which was just not something we could live up to. It requires that every single thing you do, every person you meet, you input it into the CRM. And if you start slacking at any point, the system basically starts collapsing because you cannot rely anymore on what's in the CRM. And then at some point, we figured that actually that was rather unnecessary, that data input, because what we found ourselves doing is it's copying information always from one system into the CRM. Like from our emails, we would have like, oh, somebody new got copied in. We take their name, their email address, maybe they had an email signature, and we copy it all into the CRM. We send emails, we copy them in. We have meetings, we copy them in. Calls in, anything we found in company databases, social media. And we thought all these things are actually already digital. What if we just connect to it all? Make sure that we build a system that pulls it all together for you. And then as a salesperson, it's way easier to keep your sales like organized, because most of the work is done for you. Plus the added advantage is that when a computer does it, there's way more data than you can ever do, like keep yourself, which makes that we can also build much more intelligent features that help you to follow up at the right time, find out that you didn't put meeting notes somewhere, or that there's still an email you need to answer, stuff like that. So we started building that 7 years ago. It took us about a year to get the first customer, and then 2 years to get 20 or 30 or something. Now we're at a bit over 2,000 companies using our software actively, mostly agencies and tech companies slash software companies, and doing well.
That's really great. I can't wait to dive into that more as we, hit our stride, so to speak, in this conversation. Let's talk about some recent wins. If you could share with the audience something that you encountered in your business recently that you would consider a win, and also if you could share with us your takeaway from that experience.
Um, we work on a lot of small wins. The I'll pick out one. One thing we noticed is For instance, I did some research 2 weeks ago in a new thing that we introduced, and that's when you normally you get on a software website, it asks you to create an account first, and then it will walk you through the software, and then you can start using it, right? We thought for all these people that actually just want to see it first, why don't we walk them through first, then I have them create an account, and then they can use it. Then they've already seen it, and if they then create an account, they're way more likely to become a customer. And actually, I think by doing that, so there's less people creating an account because some of them are just there to have a quick look. But then in the end, if you take into account the amount that actually converts, it's really like a factor. I think it's plus 50% or so that converts just by doing that little switch there.
That is really cool. I never thought about it that way. And as you're describing it, you're so right. You usually have to set up the account, username, password, confirm, and then you get to see what it looks like, and you're like, oh, this was a waste of time. This is not a good fit. Then you have to go back and
Mm-hmm.
then you got to put your credit card on file for the free trial. If either cancel it if they let you, right? Or
Yeah, right.
and if they don't let you, you got to email them and you got to put a reminder in your calendar. It's a 14-day trial. Don't forget to cancel it. They're gonna bill your credit card, but you're like, I could just cancel it now. I didn't. I don't. This is not gonna work for my business. But that's really great that you did that, and thanks for sharing that with us because I know a lot of our listeners they're gonna be like, wow, that's really transformational, right? Let's talk
I'm
about the
actually just looking at the exact number. We have a plus 53% conversion when we do the walkthrough first and then connect emails, like create the account.
wow, that's remarkable because, like you said, it's going to decrease your churn because they're actually
Also,
experiencing. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah.
Let's flip the switch and talk about failure. So, first off, what does failure mean to you, and what's a recent failure you experienced, and what you learned from it?
Um, I think in our business, the, I basically work for our customers, our team, and our investors. And then there's some other people involved, like the bank and stuff. Those also sort of investors. Failing to respect them all, that to me is a failure.
Interesting. Um, I had another thought leader on here, and he talked a lot about respect. You got to respect your customers, your investors, employees, potential clients. So that's huge that you said that. I appreciate it. If you could go back in time and you're sitting in front of your 21-year-old self and you had under 1 minute to give yourself some advice, words of wisdom, what would you say?
Oh, I'd say take it a bit slower. It's not all gonna come as quick as you think. You don't have to run super fast. Take some time to figure it all out. Read a lot of books. Take some time for learning. Build things up. Like first, you try something manually. You try nailing it, and then you start scaling it. I think when I was younger, actually when we started the company, we were sort of in a naive mindset that in which we would just build something, get it in the press, and it would all be successful. That's not at all how it works. And if you go into it with those expectations, you will do the wrong things and you will be disappointed as well. We over the years managed to change our expectations, but it's a very dangerous thing still to do, to go into it with these expectations.
Excellent. What's that one question that you were hoping I would ask you, which is your favorite question whenever you're doing an interview or you're giving talks? What would that question be if you could share that with us and also answer it? That would be great.
Um, I'll talk about one of my major frustrations, which is related to CRM. It's people choosing a CRM and implementing it in the wrong way. Um, Obviously, there's the part that I already discussed, is building a better CRM. But now it's about you. You're choosing a new CRM, and I see many people just typing CRM into Google and clicking the first thing that shows up, and then telling their whole sales team to use it. That's not how it works. The way it works is actually really simple. You have 3 steps, and if you follow them, then you're going to be way more successful at implementing your CRM, and hence your sales and all these beautiful things that come from implementing your CRM well. One is figuring out what you need a CRM for. If you figure that out, the subset of CRMs that is right for you is much, much smaller. There's CRMs for real estate, to build relationships in e-commerce. There's CRMs that help sort of keep dripping people with email so that they're interested in your coaching business at some point. There's CRMs for B2B sales. For instance, we build a CRM for B2B sales. If you need something for real estate, then probably we're not a good fit. Then second, when you know which CRMs you're looking at and you've built a little list for yourself, involve your sales team. Ask your sales team to try the different products. Why? One, you're way more likely to end up with something that they're actually going to use. And two, because you involve them, their buy-in is going to be much bigger, which also ups the chance a lot that they're going to use it. And face it, if your sales team is not going to use the CRM, then all of the other things will fall apart, at least in B2B sales, because you're fully dependent on them using it to build up data, to then communicate better with marketing, to have better sales forecasts, to do better sales follow-up. That's for your sales team. To have data to, when somebody leaves or is sick or something, to replace them. All these kind of things depend on your sales team actually using the CRM. And then for point 3, if you want to do it really well, of course, people know that if you introduce new software, you train your team. But most people think that training the team means showing them what the software does, how it works, and that's enough. I say that if you take the little extra step of also thinking through how you're going to use the CRM as a team, then you're going to be so much more successful, because a CRM can be used in many, many ways. You can configure it in many ways. You can fill fields in many ways. You can drag something from one stage to the other based on different conditions. And if everyone uses in a different way, then at some point you want to pull a segment in your data, or you want to check your dashboards, and it all doesn't make sense because everybody uses it differently. Plus, you cannot communicate with each other through the data either, because you all give a different meaning to the data, if you know what I mean. So it also doesn't help any of the things. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but just write some guidelines for your team, come up with it together. That's even better. And if you follow then these 3 steps, you're guaranteed to be 99% more successful than all the other ones, or more successful than 99% of the other companies.
I love your approach when it comes to CRM, and I'm shocked I didn't know about your company before. I think more people, need to find out more about your company and how you help and your whole approach to CRM. So that's really awesome. There's something I was going to share with you. I actually had a conversation with another thought leader yesterday, just yesterday, about CRM. And he
Cool.
said to me, "Hey, Tony, what's your take on CRM?" He's at a high growth company. He's looking to, double his headcount in the next 90 days. And we're just making conversation. He's got a CRM he uses. And he said, "Hey, Tony, what's your opinion and your take on CRM at a high level?" And I said, "Hey, CRM it's an accountability tool for your sales team. And also, you can't grow what you can't measure. And CRM is a really good tool for that." So I would love to hear your take on that at a high level. What do you think? I know you mentioned it before briefly, But how would you answer that question? What is the CRM at a high level to a high growth company?
Well, if you would ask our customers, I've done customer interviews in the past with like tens of customers, and the sales managers usually say that for them a CRM is accountability, transparency, and keeping data for the longer term, for all kinds of purposes. Like people leave, people are sick, you want to pull reports, all those kind of things. You want to know who you're in touch with. That's what sales managers care about, or the heads of the companies. For the salespeople themselves, it's very simple. It's almost always exact same response. It's following up leads. If they can follow up their customers in a better way with a CRM, then the CRM helps them to be successful, then they're going to use it. If the CRM does that, all of the things that the sales manager expects are going to happen as well. If the CRM doesn't do it, it's not going to happen.
Excellent. And I have a follow-up question to your um, earlier part of our discussion when you flipped it, where you said instead of username, create an account, then to see what it looks like. When you made that flip to say, hey, go through the tour, see what it looks like, and then if you want to sign up. Were you worried or scared, or did you have a weird gut feeling when you made that shift? Any uncertainty show up for you?
Um, a little uncertainty, but I think we were mostly excited about trying it. We did an A/B test. We run Google Optimize on the site, and then we can send people to one place or send them to the other place, and then you can very quickly see the results. I think there's always some uncertainty and things, but I think here for us the excitement was bigger than the fear.
Excellent. If our listeners want to find out more information, please give out your website. Take a second to do that, and give out some handles if they want to follow you or reach out to you. Go ahead and take a minute to do that.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about Salesflare, read about the software, check it out, like I said, or follow our blog. We have a lot of content on sales as well. That's on salesflare.com. So, and Flare is Flare. And if you want to get in touch with me, best place is LinkedIn. I'm sure you'll find my name, Jeroen Corthout, in the podcast episode title or something. If you type that in LinkedIn, there's only one person with my name, so it's pretty easy. But when you click connect, please add a personal message. I get a lot of spam every day. It's getting less now because LinkedIn is cracking down on it. But if you don't include a personal message, I'll just assume it's spam because I have no idea. If you include one, I'll certainly connect with you and we can have a chat.
Awesome. If you could sign us off with a one-word close and tell us why you're choosing this final word, that would be great.
All I can think now is dinner.
Nice.
And that's because
Perfect.
I'm going to have dinner now.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and thanks for taking the time to share with us about your company, how you help people, and who you've helped, and also the details of your split testing and stuff, all that good stuff, and your personal beliefs on things. So really appreciate that.
Thank you. No, it was great to be on. Thank you very much.